What's going on, guys? I'm gonna do a quick video here of this Avet SXJ I got here in front of me. This particular one here is the MC Cast version, and this is in the gunmetal gray. I've had this reel for about a year now, I'd say, and I've got about 11 Avets, I think, about 11, and this one probably has to be my favorite one right here. Big part of that is just how small this reel is. I mean, it's tiny. Look at this tiny spool. It's just really narrow. That's what that J stands for, the SXJ, for jigging. So it gives you, of course, a more narrow spool here. Lever drag, of course, on this thing. These lever drag systems are great, especially when you're fishing live bait and stuff. I really enjoy it. For being such a small reel, this reel sure does put out a lot of power as far as cranking power. Right now, I think I have this thing set at 6 pounds of drag. I'm fishing 20-pound top shot of Iser, and I got it about 3/4 of the way filled with 40-pound Super Slick Power Pro underneath it, and it's got pretty good line capacity as far as if you're doing close to inshore stuff. I've even went crazy and caught some yellowfin tuna on this thing offshore, and it held up just fine. No problem with the capacity at all or anything. So like I said, I've got big yellowfin tuna, about 35 pounds, 25-pound Dorados, 22-pound yellowtail with this little SXJ, no problem at all. Caught them on I had this thing matched up with the Cousins tackle rod. What is it, 858 inshore series rod that they have. Great rod too, great company. But these two combined, it makes a super combo. These things are just awesome. The cranking power in this thing is just amazing, and it stands up well to close inshore species, even some offshore stuff, smaller offshore fish. And I like to have a little bit of a challenge out there when I'm fishing. This makes it that much more fun. So that's why I like to go with this little guy here. It's just so small, fits in your hand, no problem at all. I mean, I could just grip this whole thing here. It's got a clicker on it, of course, your cast control. That a lot of guys, they say, oh, the cast control, you don't need it if you know how to cast this and that. Well, I feel the same thing. I know how to cast regular reels, but sometimes you will get that backlash. And sometimes when you're getting a wide open bite, you're trying to cast an iron or something, and you're trying to get some out there, and then you get a backlash in the middle of a wide open bite, and now you're stuck pulling out a bird's nest. For me, I just hate wasting time when the fish are on a wide open bite like that, and I do not want any errors at all. So I just went ahead and went with this MC Cast version. It worked out pretty dang well for me. Don't ever have any backlash on this thing. It's been great, I fish this thing for calico bass, throwing big hammer plastics at them. Or, like I said, even done live bait, getting the Dorado and yellowtail and tuna and stuff, fly lining sardines, even mini mackerels, that I've fly lined on this thing before too as well. This thing, at strike, it puts a maximum of 9 pounds of drag, and then at full it's 14. It goes down to full at 14. I wouldn't fish this reel probably more than set up for like 25-pound test. Anything over that's probably a little bit too much for this little guy. But it's like a perfect 15-20-pound test reel. It works out really great. Only bad thing about this, drawback about this reel, I'd say, is probably there's no clamp here for the reel. There's only a foot here. There's no clamp for the bottom of the reel. So all you have is just a little foot. So you got to have a rod with the reel seat. If you don't, then you're shit out of luck. That's the only drawback on this thing. But if you pair it up with something that's got a nice little reel seat on it, you should be just fine. Like I said, this is a wonderful reel that's made here in America, made here in California, close to me. So I like to support my local guys here, and I fish all American gear. So this guy here is just a wonderful little beast, workhorse indeed. Highly recommend it. If anybody is thinking about purchasing one of these guys, you will not be disappointed. Thanks for your time.